So we have our about page and our contact page, and now we want to add the service page to offer our services. I quickly want to show you my personal website, which is julianweber.com. And here I also built some service pages. For example, I have this website coaching, and this is the page I've built with Wix. And it takes some time to build all these sections and make it professional with pictures and underlayers here. And I also put in some testimonials on iPhone mock-ups in a vertical video. And I also did some images here in Canva, and I have a newsletter subscription form here and some testimonials, another video, and some content overview, a little about me section, and some FAQ, which is also collapsible. So this is one page I've built with Wix, and here's another page. This is a comparison site for website builders in German. So here's Wix, Ionos, Jimdo, Shopify, and so on. And it's also quite a decent website. So just to give you an idea what you can build with Wix. And let's take a look on how we can achieve this inside Wix and build our own service page. Therefore, we just go on pages again, click on pages and menu, click on add page. And here we have some templates from Wix for services. And now I will go ahead and act if I would be an agency for web design. And my service would be to offer my visitors a web design service. So I would build out their website for them. And I just choose the basic one because we want to add more sections ourselves later on. I add this page. And now let's take a look at the page. So this is just the template, and we would now go ahead and change the headline, put in our paragraph, change the images, and down here people can get a quote and we can contact them later and offer them our services. I will do that really quickly, so bear with me. And after that, I want to show you how we make sure that the site will be displayed on Google and people can find it on Google. So let's start by changing the headline, web design agency, and I asked ChatGPT again to give me some text here so I don't have to come up with everything myself. I will just copy this and place it in here. And on websites, it's always good if you divide the paragraphs so it's readable. I wouldn't show more than 3 sentences in one paragraph. And we have some bullet points here. Let's put some space in between them so people can read it. And of course, you would now go ahead and make this text your own and really dive in and make it persuasive for the visitor that they will buy your web services. And now let's put in some pictures here on how our services works. So I can change the image, go with Unsplash and say, okay, let's say ideation. So let's choose this picture and call this step concept. And of course you would change the paragraph, and the next one would be web design. Let's change the image. And the last one would be promotion. Let's find an image for promotion, social media or Instagram. And we don't want to have too many here. So I will click on manage items and then deselect or delete the 4th one. So we have 3 items here. And I also make this headline a little bit bold so people can read it, and make it a little bit bigger, and maybe use a different font and just use the Roboto bold. And now, of course, we need to change the paragraphs. So now this would be our basic offering. So concept, we will help you to work out the concept for your website. We will build the website for you and host it on our servers. And we will help you to promote your website by creating content for you. So this is always a good practice. If you're offering something, doing like a step-by-step process, it's very comprehensive and people can grasp it in a second and really get an idea what they are up to once they book your business. And down here, they can get a quote. And as we learned earlier with the contact form, you can add more fields. I think a message field would be good. So basic field, and put in a long answer so people can tell us about their project. And if you need anything else, for example, their budget or their current URL, then you can also ask them and add more contact fields here. And yeah, make sure you stay on brand. For example, this headline is black, but we want to use the green from our website so it looks like we know what we're talking about. And change the color here also to green, and maybe make the whole text a little bit bigger, quite small, so people can read it, and also make it the full width of the website. And yeah, you would go ahead and design the website or this page, the service page, however you like. This is just the template we got, and we filled it with some content, and people can get the quote here. And maybe we change the background of this one into white. So we have different backgrounds. We have white, gray, white. Let's zoom out a little bit and take a look. Yeah, so this is a very basic service page. Of course, you can do this way better, but I think you already learned a lot about how to build pages here. So I don't want to dive a lot deeper into that, but I can assure you for this course page, which I did for my own homepage here, for my own offering, I probably needed like 2 to 3 days to really make everything aligned and everything in the colors I want, and also find the right pictures for it. So it takes some time, definitely too long for this tutorial, but yeah, just spend some time here and make the service page a little bit more appealing than what we have here. You can also, quick tip here is not to put too much text here. This really looks kind of awful having so much text here. I can make it a little bit bigger and then just add another section here. I can use a blank one and just add some text, a paragraph, make it bigger, and add my own text and make this headline a little bit bigger. And of course, you should make sure that the text always has the same font size. So this is 25. Let's keep it that way and go here with font size 25. And now to make sure everything is aligned, we can show tools here, and then we can add a ruler, and this allows us to align everything on the side. So for example, my headline starts here and the text starts there. So I can just put it 2 rulers here, and then I can scroll down and I can do the same here. I can just let the headline start here and the bullet points start there. So, and make sure that everything is aligned and fits in quite nicely. Yeah, but of course this would take me now like a full day to make this really look nice, but I think you get the idea. This is how you would start building it out. And just as a pro tip, you have this ruler here which you can show and make every element the right size. And for the service page, I would really do that. I mean, the about page and the contact page, you can go with a template, but for the service page, since it should be convincing and people should book it, it should look quite nice. And therefore, please spend some time there and make it your own. And if you did everything, of course, we want Google to know about our work and that it will index our page and people can find it. And therefore, we need to get into the topic of SEO, search engine optimization. And this is basically an art of its own. I can really spend like 5 days talking about search engine optimization, but I will give you the basic idea of what it is. The first thing we need to make sure is that on pages in the SEO tab, we put in our keywords. Because right now it just says service for and service website in English. So we would really need to change that. But before we do that, we need to find ourselves some keywords and try to rank for those. And therefore you have different keyword tools out there. For example, one which is for free is the tool from Neil Patel. It's called Uber Suggest. Or you can also use the keyword planner from Google inside Google Ads. Or you can get yourself Href, which is also a very professional but also pricey tool, or you can get SEMrush, which is also just a tool for finding the right keywords. But if you're starting out, I would suggest you use Uber Suggest because it will give you some queries for free. And for example, I would try to rank for web design agency, and I typed it in here and clicked search for the United States. If you're in a different country, for example, if you're in Japan or Australia, you can just select these countries and search for the search term you want to rank for. But I choose web design agency here in the United States, and it gives me a SEO difficulty score, which is 44, and how much I have to pay for it. It can be quite complicated to rank for a keyword that hard with that much competition, because there will be so many web design agencies trying to rank for it. So you can see it even here. You have 4 different paid ads on Google, so quite a lot. And then there are all the companies like GoDaddy or Fiverr ranking for it. So it might be even impossible for me to rank for this because it's so difficult. But there's a simple trick. You can try to get local. And for example, for web design agency, I can type it in and then I can go in New York, for example. And in New York, there are, of course, not as many agencies as in the entire world or in entire America. Therefore, you can try to rank here. So if my agency is based in New York, I can try to rank for it. And here you already see that these are all company names from New York and all website agencies. So I try to rank for this and just take this keyword and put it on my page here. So I first start by putting it in the title tag, Web Design Agency in New York by Julian Weber. Now in the description, I try to describe our services. We build your website for you. We are a full service. And now try to use the keyword again, Web Design Agency in New York or based in New York. And now do some social proof and worked with over 500 plus customers on their business website. So make sure you put some keywords in there, for example, business website, or we build your website for you, full service web design agency. So these are all keywords people are looking for. And here in the URL Slack, you should also use that and go with web-design-agency-New York. So people can even tell from the URL that you are based in New York. So this is the meta description of your SEO. And of course, again, we should also do the social sharing picture. And here I will just select like an image of a web designer maybe, or maybe just this picture here. And this is critically important because sometimes Google displays pictures also here in the search results, but for this it doesn't do that. But sometimes you might have seen it already, Google places pictures here. So really make sure your most important pages, like your service and offer pages, have this picture so people see it on Google if Google decides to display it. And now we did everything we can on the meta description side, but we should do the same on the page. So this is called on-page SEO. And most importantly, we want to put the main keyword into the headline, and it should be always the H1. So you have different headline styles, H2, H3, but the main keyword should be always in the H1, because then Google knows that this page is about this topic. And now we want to repeat the keyword inside the text. And maybe I just place it here. Our web design agency in New York offers professional web design services. So we placed it here, and maybe down here we place it again so people see the keyword more often. And also Google will recognize that you use the keyword in the headline, in the text, and inside the meta description of your page here in SEO Basics. So this was just a very brief overview. I might get into it a little later in the bonus section on how to promote your site, but this was on-page SEO, how you do it on the page itself, and also how you edit your meta description here for the page. And yeah, get you familiar with tools like Ubersuggest and just type in the keywords of your business and see what it comes up with. As said, the web design agency space is of course very competitive because people in this space are, they just know what they're doing, and that's why the competition is high here, and that's also why the cost per click is high. I hope for your business it's a little easier to rank for certain keywords. Now we have built ourselves these pages, the about page, the contact page, and the service page. And as said, please spend some time on the service page, make it really personal, make it convincing, and use some social proof by showing your testimonials from clients here, so people really understand that you're worth investigating more and spending some more time on your page, and maybe even booking your service in the end.